gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, willkommen, welcome to the O2 Arena here in Hamburg, Germany. And this is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world. Presented by K2 Promotions and Klitschko Management Group, sanctioned by the BDB, President Thomas Putz, and the IBF President Daryl Peebles, the IBO President Ed Levine, the WBO President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, and the WBA President Gilberto Mendoza Sr. The three judges at ringside scoring this bout will be Glenn Feldman, Jerome Jakubko, and Joe Pasquale, and the referee in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran Tony Weeks. And now, the officials are ready, and the fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from Hamburg, Germany, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, official weight 112 kilograms. A perfect professional record consisting of 20 fights, 20 victories, including 11 wins by knockout. He is the heavyweight fighting pride of Sofia, Bulgaria. The IBF #1 ranked heavyweight challenger in the world. The undefeated Kubrat, the Cobra Pulev.
There's no doubt who has got the lion's share of the support inside this arena.
In the red corner, wearing red, officially weighing in at 111.5 kilograms. This Olympic gold medal winner has a professional record consisting of 62 victories, including 53 knockouts, and undefeated for a decade, originally from Ukraine, but he lives and fights out of Hamburg, Germany, with the WBA, WBO, IBO, and IBF titles. He is universally recognized as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
Couldn't have wished for a better atmosphere in here tonight, and the 16th of November 1996 in Hamburg was when the story began for Klitschko with a one-round KO of Fabian Metzer. There are no plans for this to be the closing chapter or indeed the final chapter. Kubrat Pulev, Richie Woodall alongside me. Let's look at some of the advantages. He's younger. He's the heaviest since Marius Vac. He's only an inch and a half shorter, one inch reach deficit. It's as close to equal as he's had for a long time.
It is indeed, but at the same time, Tim, it's making that pay against this fella, Klitschko. He's just so skillful. It's very, very difficult to actually break that distance down.
The referee, you've been talking about we need a strong one here today. Tony Weeks, the man in charge, refereed 5 world title fights this year. He's been involved with some of the greatest names of the last 15-20 years. Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Mayweather, Cotto. He's taken charge, though, of just one previous heavyweight title fight. That was Klitschko against Hasim Rahman back in December of 2008. And he is certainly experienced enough. Pulev's got to push the envelope a bit here with the referee. But immediately, Klitschko is in to hold, and this is what Pulev said he isn't going to be able to do. He isn't going to be able to get in there and dominate him.
Well, like I said back in the studio, you've got to have a strong referee. Look, this is what Klitschko does. Straight away, he holds. We need a referee to say, right, no holding. Come on, let's get on with it.
2 previous fights he had against the 2 giants, Ustinov and Dimitrenko. It wasn't a right hand. that put either of those two down. It was his left hand that did it, and that just shows you how much he's got in terms of power in that left hand.
Well, he's in against a taller opponent to what he's normally used to. Klitschko is here in Pulev. Pulev's 6'4", he's tall, got good range, got a good jab himself. Tactically, he wants to find a bit more range. He's still not recovered, Pulev isn't, and Klitschko, what he should be doing, he should be trying to step him back, creating a little bit of space and trying to work that right hand, but it's the left hook that's done all the damage, not the right hand. It's been the left hook from Klitschko.
This time it is Pulev that is digging in and holding on here. For his last 11 fights, he has outlanded his opposition by 1,525 punches to 443. It isn't about when Klitschko loses fights, he barely loses a round. This is going to take something sensational here. You can see there's still a bit of wobble in the legs of Pulev here. One more big shot and it's surely going to be over. Is he going to let him off the hook? He's only got 14 seconds to go here.
It was a good start from Pulev, started well with a straight, stiff jab, but as the round's gone on, Klitschko has started to get back into it.
How did he ever survive that, Richie?
Yeah, incredible. We were talking about Pulev landing a good shot, and the champion finds a way, a tremendous left hook that hit the target and put his man down. There's Jonathan Banks now giving the instructions to Klitschko.
Well, Banks actually has said on the evening, he said, I believe he said that...
But there's nothing in that. That's just off balance and throwing him to the floor. So the referee was quite right in what he said. But here, look, this is long-range work. Look at the right hand, just missing the target. But that's an example of what he's like at range. Very strong indeed, mid-long range. What a first round.
Well, this isn't a staring contest. This is boxing, Banks went on to say. Fight fans want to see explosive knockouts, and if you can't get it, at least show them you're in there trying to get it. Expect to see him let his hands go with more regularity, and we've seen that inside the first round. He just doesn't look as if he's got the capability to stand up to anything sustained here, Pulev.
But Tim, this is the first time in many, many fights when Klitschko has come up against someone who's got a very, very good jab. Now, what Pulev is doing here is tremendous with that left hand, because it's making Klitschko think. He hasn't been caught with a left hand, left jab like that in many a fight here.
Something about the nights in Hamburg. He's had 7 career fights here. And they have tended to go long. That went 12 rounds. There's another right hand. And again, there's a slight look of bemusement there as it lands.
You cannot afford to stay at range with Klitschko. He's holding his feet here a little bit, Pulev. He's looking for that left jab, you see, but at the same time, he keeps getting caught with the long, straight right hand. So he's got to try and avoid that. He's got to try and slip that shot.
He does have a tendency to fight at a very mild to slow pace. There's Pulev. The number of punches he throws per round, as has been calculated over the recent fights against the likes of Dimitrenko, all very much under the heavyweight average, which is about 45 punches a round. He falls well below that, and he does have a tendency, as we have seen, to get hit by power shots from the opposition. Dimitrenko landed a fair few. Thompson landed 40% of his. If you get on the end of 40% of the power shots of Klitschko, you're not going to last very long.
I have seen him in other fights, though, Tim, where he can be busy. He's got good movement, has Pulev. He's playing a waiting game here. He's got to watch out for the long, straight right hand again. But he's looking to land that left hand. He knows he's had success with it, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to land that jab. He's got to bring probably his right hand through as well, because the single shot's not going to be enough. And at the same time, he must keep that right hand up a little bit more to his chin, because Klitschko is looking to land that long left hook.
With the impressive part of the most recent fights that Klitschko's had has been the work rate, the amount of shots he's landed, has all significantly increased in the last couple of years, and the fights that he's had with Pianeta and Leopai. So it's almost like he's getting busier. But it is rare you will find anybody as focused in their objectives of their sport as this guy here.
Stop!
End of the second round. Breathless stuff. Atmosphere remains. It is the Pulev support, though, which has gone a little bit quiet.
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.
Kubrat Pulev, who has his brother, the part of his corner team, Derval, who fights as an amateur, looking to fight in the Olympic Games.
His brother's actually been over and sparred at Team GB. A couple of good spars with our heavyweight up there, Warren Baster. But he's handy himself, Pulev's brother, very good indeed.
He doesn't like to talk about records or anything approaching Larry Holmes or Joe Louis, which everybody else has been doing. Is in the back of his mind, though, depending on whose interviews you read. Bernard Hopkins is a man that spurs him on. He wants to keep his health. He's got absolutely no plans of doing anything other than fighting on for another 3 to 4 years. That is his plan, Klitschko, unless the plan is changed for him. This has been an amazing recovery, this, hasn't it, by Pulev?
Indeed, but it's quite clever tactics what Pulev's doing. He's sitting on the outside and waiting. What he's trying to do is draw Klitschko's lead, make him either fall short or he'll try and slip it. Then he comes back with his own jab. And what he's trying to do is get Klitschko to overreach. By overreaching, he may fall short, and that's when an opening can occur for Pulev. So he's playing a crafty game here, Pulev. The problem he's got is a long left hook from Klitschko and also the straight right hand. So he has to adjust his feet to probably miss those shots or a bit of head movement to slip them. But clever tactics on the outside. Most people would have expected him to try and get close up to Klitschko.
Good to see the referee getting in very quick to break these clinches up as well. Oh, look at that right hand!
Klitschko showing what a formidable opponent he is. Not only has he got that straight right hand,
Right
he's
hand
got the left
pummeling him
hook as
again.
well.
There's the left hook. He's got him on the ropes. He's very near to a conclusion here, Pulev. But he's still there. Mark appearing underneath the left eye of Pulev. Interesting, it was noted, Klitschko, you see, rarely going to the body of Pulev, about rarely going to the body of anybody, except because he doesn't like to leave his chin exposed.
He doesn't want to take any risks. I said that before. He doesn't take a lot of risks, does Klitschko. That's why when they get up close, he just holds and just nullifies the work on the inside from his opponent. Great round again from Klitschko. 10-8, 10-7 maybe.
The crowd, everybody on their feet inside the arena. Richie, there was that great quote about Ernie Shavers when they said he could punch you in the neck and he could break your ankle. It can't be that much less here when he lands.
It just shows you how dangerous Klitschko is. He has tremendous boxing skills with that long, straight right hand especially, but also in this contest, that long left hook.
He came close to landing a right hand of his own there, Pulev. Remarkable powers of recuperation here.
And what they've done here, Tim, the Pulev camp, they've literally said to Pulev, look, you're not going to work on the inside because he holds too often and he gets away with it from the referee. So you've got to stay at range, and he's trying to work his jab, and he's having a bit of success, Pulev. It's just that he's been caught with some tremendous shots with the accuracy and the power from Klitschko tonight.
Yeah, the message in that corner, don't settle, don't make excuses, and when you get out of here, don't have any regrets. That is what got him up. There's always been plenty of talk about the chin of Klitschko. It was Carfrocci's hit, wasn't it? The best type of chin is the one that doesn't get hit. And his rarely, if ever, gets hit. Leaning in, had to travel that right hand. Easy to get out of the way, Klitschko. Pulev was talking about the key to this fight, and he said it is footwork. And it was highlighted that Pulev often just tracks his opponent's footwork.
With Pulev here, occasionally just falling short with his punches. He's got to move his feet a little bit quicker and closer into range, and then he'll start to connect with the right hand. He's thrown a couple of good 1-2s in this round. There again, look, but he just falls short. He's just fraction 2 or 3 inches off the distance. He needs to just get a little bit closer for that shot to connect.
What we are getting here, though, is the best fight, the best opposition that we've seen in a ring with Klitschko for some time. Just managing to slip that big right hand again, but the left hook goes in. Is there a cut on the corner of that left eye of Pulev?
See again, Klitschko working at range, staying centre ring. I'd like to see Pulev gets caught again with the left hook because he's waiting too long, Tim, holding his feet too long and gets caught. Got to quicken the feet up a little bit and try and push Klitschko back to the ropes. It's very rare you see Klitschko on those ropes because that's where he's going to be vulnerable.
Yeah, if you look at the last guy that beat him, Lamont Brewster, he always says that he's surprised that nobody ever calls him up to ask what he did to actually beat Klitschko. He doesn't like being under pressure.
My father has a lot of sides, and you hear about the fights. You don't hear about family that much and what that meant to him.
And I remember the moment I fell in love with him when he was, could make me cry.
It was unbelievable, the power that this man had.
I mean, who doesn't know who Muhammad Ali is?
He whispered in my ear, "Is that all you got, George?" And that was about all I had.
I Am Ali, out November 28th.
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.
Part of the Klitschko preparation, which is something he always does on the eve of his fights. He puts a tape on of that Brewster loss and he watches it from start to finish. At the end of that, people said he had no chin, no stamina, no heart, no anything. He uses that, he says, as his major motivation. I'll never forget it, he said. I'm thankful to Brewster, and I will be until I go to my grave. It is what gives me the motivation. It is all about payback, and he is making Pulev get payback. But Pulev spins him and lands a left hook of his own.
Yeah, gets caught again, Pulev. I know I keep repeating myself, but he holds in his feet for too long. He's got to quicken up. What I am surprised as well with Pulev, there's no head movements. Although he's sitting back and he's trying to draw the shot and make Klitschko fall short, he must move his head. There must be head movement there. Trying to slip the punch and then come back with the counter.
The fact that he's still in here at round 5 is testimony to his strength, mental strength as much as anything. You saw how cool he looked the time he arrived just a couple of hours ago. He's carried that coolness into the ring and he refuses to get out of it and be put out of it. It is strange, like you said, Richie, because what was part of the Pulev makeup, part of his strength, was the fact that he had good mobility and a reasonably good agility. But we haven't seen an awful lot of it. No. Again, the referee is in quick to separate. just fell short with that right hand.
And the 1-2 combination, and then Klitschko delivers a perfect peach of a left hook round the guard. And we talked about Pulev's right hand, it wasn't close to his chin, it's not protecting the chin. Round it came. What a punch that was. He probably won't throw a better left hook than that. Tremendous shot.
What a message that is sent out. It's believed that he's signed a 3-fight deal with HBO. There's Steven and Deontay Wilder on the horizon. Of course, you got Chengaev in the arena here tonight. The camera hasn't picked him up. But if he wanted to send out a message to the fans over in the States, he wants to get back over there, wants to make himself feel loved by boxing's #1 supporting nation, then he had to do something like that, and he has delivered on everything Jonathan Banks said he was going to do.
Yeah, the Americans will love this performance from Klitschko because it had everything, didn't it? He put his opponent down, but at the same time, his opponent was always in the fight and being quite dangerous. But we've seen from Klitschko, his precision and his timing was perfect tonight, and his power, sensational. The right hand, left hook especially. We always go on about Dr. Steelhammer with this right hand of his. Pulev there taking the applause from the crowd, but he was caught with one of the best left hooks you'll ever see. What a shot that was. Bang on the button, on the chin, down you go. Referee starts to count, but then thinks, that's it, this fella's not getting up, and that's the right decision.
Sensational conclusion to what has been a dramatic night here in Hamburg. Kubrat Pulev, the man they used to call the Big Messi on account of his skills and technique, has been belittled here tonight. And when you look at it, there's Shannon Briggs.
He's still having a go, Shannon. He wants to get in there. He wants to have a go tonight, I think.
You know, back over, he gets a lot of criticism, as we know, Klitschko. 7 of the 17 defences he's had have been against unbeaten fighters. 10 of the 17 defences against fighters who had world championships going into the fight, all were world champions. He's never ducked anybody, he's taken anybody on. How can anybody reasonably or feasibly argue that he isn't one of the greatest that there has been?
Well, unfortunately, Tim, there hasn't been the opponents in his division, like when Muhammad Ali fought and Larry Holmes fought these guys, the Ken Nortons, the Joe Frazier's, the George Foremans. They made the division great, didn't they, back in those days? Whereas Klitschko has been a victim of his own success in many ways because his style of boxing has meant that many people have said it's boring, but that was nothing boring about this tonight. And he was in against a #1 mandatory IBF challenger, and this was a very, very good fight indeed. He showed us the power, he showed us the speed and the skill against a very, in my opinion, a good opponent.
So what about the people that say that it's the measure of greatness isn't only about who you beat, it's about who you're beaten by? And like you said, you go back to the era of Ken Norton, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, even Larry Holmes and who they wanted were beaten against. And if you look down at the people who he was beaten by, Brewster Saunders, Ross Purity, they say, well, there you go. I mean, that says something about him as well.
Well, Corey Sanders won a world title, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
that's right, absolutely.
Lamont Brewster, world champions. It's just that this fella, since his defeat in 2004 against Brewster, he's really tightened up, and the great late Emmanuel Stewart, he spoke about this in the studio, how he's tightened him up, he's cut out all his mistakes, he's maximised what he's got, his height and his reach, and he's a tremendous boxer in terms of his technical ability, and people don't really get that. This fella's not only got a lot of speed and a lot of power, but technically he's very good, an Olympic champion in 1996, remember. So yeah, he is the real deal. And I'm sure in the back of his mind he will be looking at that Joe Louis 25 defences, successful defences of, that's the record, isn't it? And that's what he'll probably want to achieve.
Yeah, it is. 17th defence. He is drawing within touching distance of the Eastern assassin himself, Larry Holmes. It's ironic, isn't it, that you look at Larry Holmes and you look at Wladimir Klitschko, and two of them feel that they've never really been appreciated. Larry Holmes always felt that. And the same can be said of Klitschko here. But of course, he's got a few years yet to go. He said, I need 3.5 years to beat the record of Joe Louis. He said, I'm not obsessed with it. But if I stay healthy, then why not? And that's quite right. And he is aware of the record of the 25. He said it is almost impossible to reach that number. But yeah, he's on the road. He's not going to be going anywhere for years, is he?
I think, Tim, as well, because he still has a strong desire to box, a strong desire to train. This is why people like Bernard Hopkins is still in the game at 49. He still wants to get up in the morning and run, still wants to spar, still wants to go through the training programmes. And Klitschko is exactly the same. He enjoys the sport immensely. And while he's got that passion and desire, he will keep going. Once that goes, then you're finished as a boxer, no matter who you are, but it still runs strong through his veins.
This sort of sums up the man, doesn't it? After he lost against Lamont Bruce, he met him actually in a restaurant in LA, and his manager, this was Bruce's manager, gave him a business card, and on it, on Brewster's business card, was a picture of Brewster knocking him out, and he kept the card for years. He got him to sign it after he knocked him out in the previous, in the rematch, and he still keeps it in his gym bag to this very day.
At 2 minutes, 11 seconds of round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, and still heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
It's a changed man, this, Richie. This isn't the man that they said. He isn't electrifying or explosive. He's slow poison. Well, this was a quick administration of that tonight. It was a sensational finish. He hasn't fought in the USA since he beat Ibragimov back in 2008, February 2008, at Madison Square Garden. But you can be sure that this is going to be replayed and replayed on the networks that are showing us on ESPN, I think, in the USA, and they're going to drum up an awful lot of interest in this.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we've overhyped it, because this guy, Pulev, is, as I say, he's a mandatory challenger at IBF. He's the #1. He's the best out there. He's 20-0 with 11 knockouts, and he was a dangerous threat. And right from the word go, the opening bell in that first round, the first 30 or 40 seconds, he caught Klitschko with a couple of good shots. But Klitschko, as a champion, found a way, and he found the punishing punch.
Erstmal Gratulation. Ja, wir gratulieren ihm alle hier so ein bisschen.
Congratulations.
Vom Verband auch wichtig. Gratulation, Wladimir. Heute ein Irrsinnskampf. Oft wird das Wort ja verwendet, aber heute war es wirklich ein Wahnsinnskampf. Sehr aufregend, man hat es in der Halle gemerkt. Wann haben Sie das letzte Mal, aber in so kurzer Zeit, so hart arbeiten müssen?
Well, when have you ever had to work so hard for your rewards here? He said, thank you, Hamburg, the place where it all began for me 18 years ago. I made my pro debut here, and the place is very dear to my heart. I've always felt the love and support from the people around here. You've always supported us and me. And I want to thank you and thank you again. Yeah, this was a performance for you, for the fans in Hamburg.
Kubrat Pulev hat eine gute Leistung im Ring gebracht. Dafür gebe ich ihm Respekt.
Again, he just said the fans from Bulgaria. He said the fans for Pulev, fantastic, great fans, and you deserve respect. Again, said we've had tough times in Ukraine. I would like to mention a bit about that as well.
Wir sind noch in Deutschland, müssen noch ein bisschen Deutsch reden.
He said no, but we're in Germany.
Героям. Я люблю вас, Украина. Слава Украине!
Also, da war wie immer viel drin in der ersten Antwort. Kleiner Ukrainisch-Kurs für Anfänger noch dabei.
Speaking in Ukrainian, the toast of Ukraine.
Haken ist mir aufgefallen. Den habe ich sonst gar nicht so oft bei Ihnen gesehen, um mal zum Boxen zu kommen. War das von Anfang an so geplant, oder hat das die Situation, dass Kubrat Pulev
talk us through the approach to this fight. Let's talk and concentrate on this left hand you thrown. It was so precise. It was an amazing punch. This was a tough fight. Kubrat Pulev was a tough, worthy opponent, and I felt this was the best, the only way to get close to him. The way Pulev sets up, and it turns out I was right.
Zunächst einmal, ja, mir tut's auch weh, wenn ich das so sehe. Kubrat, erstmal, wie geht's Ihnen denn?
Pulev is
Ich fühle mich sehr gut.
Pulev is just off to hospital to get checked out. He's saying he beat me fair and square. I offer him the respect he deserves. I offer thanks to everybody that has turned up here tonight. A wonderful support. I'm extremely grateful for all of those who have come to support me. Thank you all very much, everybody.
Ich werte das als großes Dankeschön an die treuen Fans.
A few words in Bulgarian here.
Jetzt müssen Sie uns auf Deutsch auch noch kurz erklären, Kubrat, wie wichtig war das, so tolle Fans
The
hier zu
interviewer
haben.
wants him to get back to German as well here. So he's still through Bulgarian. He's been asked to speak in German, but he's maintaining a Bulgarian stance here. How important was it to have these fans here? It was vitally important to me. I want to thank everybody that has made their way here for this fight. Vladimir is a worthy winner. I thought he had a bit of luck.
Wie haben Sie es geschafft, nach den harten Treffern wieder aufzustehen? Also da haben wir alle am meisten gewundert, aber unten aufgestanden.
Boxen geht auch. Schade, aber gibt es auch Glück. Und hat wirklich Glück gehabt. Aber sowieso, ist eine gute Boxer. Und
he's saying he is a good boxer, but he really had luck with him tonight. Klitschko really had luck with him. I don't think he was happy about the referee.
Aber im Ring war ja jetzt korrekt.
The referee wasn't correct, he said. I don't like the way that Klitschko fights.
Danke, Kubrat Pulev, gute Besserung.
Nochmal, още един път, благодаря на всички български фенове.